In today's session of Divorce Court, Angel Fuentes liked what she saw in Tony Davidson the first time they met. He wanted to be a drummer in a rock band, and she wanted to help him fulfill his dream. But Tony says his dream turned into a nightmare.
2 weeks after we were married, she was sleeping in bed with another man.
You saw her sleeping in the bed with another man 2 weeks after her marriage to you?
I stood there in the doorway and cried.
This is the man that he supposedly caught in bed.
Oh, you have the nerve to bring him to court? Joe, please keep your eyes open and ready to move.
Now Tony wants justice.
When I married this woman, I gave her my heart, I gave her my soul.
And today, Angel and Tony try to end their marriage in divorce court.
All rise. Court is now in session. Mablean Ephraim presiding. You may be seated.
Good day, ladies and gentlemen. This is the matter of Angel Fuentes versus Tony Davidson. I'm advised that after 5.5 years of marriage, you're ready to throw in the towels. Nobody wants to stay married these days. Mr. Davidson, I think it's you that wants to end this.
Yeah, I want to end it because like 2 weeks after we were married, she had started cheating on me. I went through...
Now, stop right there. 2 weeks after the marriage,
yes, ma'am.
She started cheating on you?
Yes.
No, what do you mean cheating?
Me.
No, I did not accuse her because I had saw her with my own 2 eyes.
And what did you see her doing with your 2 eyes?
She was sleeping in a bed with another man.
You saw her sleeping in the bed with another man 2 weeks after her marriage to you?
Yes, ma'am.
No,
and you weren't out of there then?
I loved her so much it didn't matter at the time, you know, because of my child. Before, like, the day we got married, I'd gave her a ring, and she had pawned it, and it was like...
She pawned your ring that you gave her? Let me finish, and then I'm going to allow you to talk.
Okay.
Okay?
And then as it kept going on, the night of our wedding reception, I noticed she kept making goo-goo eyes at this guy.
So let me get this straight. 2 weeks after you marry her, you find her in the bed with another man.
Right.
Before the wedding, you gave her a ring, and she pawned it.
Yes, ma'am.
At the wedding reception, she's making goo-goo eyes at Charlie.
Yeah, in the back room.
And you still there?
Because of our child. Yeah, I wanted...
Well, when was the child born?
Before.
Before the marriage?
Before we got married.
So then we need to back up. Before the marriage, you had a baby?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. How old is the baby?
She is 8 years old now.
Oh, so you've been together longer than 5 years?
Correct.
And you were together 3 years before you decided to get married?
Yes, ma'am.
So tell me what she was doing?
She was nice to me. She listened to me at first. She understood me. But as time went on, she just totally blew my heart out of the way, and she became very selfish.
I was tired of being a mom.
Okay, maybe you can explain to me better about what happened the first 3 years before versus the 5 years after you got married.
The first 3 years, I tolerated him not working. I was the one, I've always been the one who brought in the money.
That is a lie.
I've always been the one, you know, make sure my kids, I'd get up in the morning, get them to school, go to work, boom, come home, make dinner.
Now I'm talking the first 3 years.
Right.
Is this still a child?
Yeah,
I have the child.
I have 2 prior to Raven, his daughter. So those are my kids. And then when I got pregnant, he still wasn't working. He was still the struggling musician, which, you know, I gave him that. You know, he's trying. I thought, you know, he has all these big dreams. You know, he's going to make it big, you know, and I tried to hang in there. I can't hang in there.
You were trying to wait till he made it big?
Well, I tried to make something, you know, and he still hasn't made it big, and he's still, you know,
so you say you've given him 8 years and he still hasn't made it big. It's time to move on.
Right.
So what about the first 3 years of the relationship before the marriage? Were you running around?
No.
Were you cheating on him?
No, I was not.
Yes, she was.
So you knew she was cheating and running around on you before you married her and you married her?
I did not know until after we were married, until I caught her running around on me.
Till you caught her in the bed with a man?
Correct.
This is the man that he supposedly caught in bed.
Whoa, you have the nerve to bring him to court?
He never caught me. He never caught me. Never.
I did.
Never.
Joe, please keep your eyes open and ready to move. This is a witness?
Yes, this is him. And I was already
moved out. You brought the
out.
other man to court?
I was already
moved out. Is this your first time
house.
seeing him?
No, ma'am.
So you've seen him before?
Yes.
So the anger about this is gone?
It still hurt me a lot because
But I don't have to worry about you jumping on him because you seen him today. Okay, come forward.
I had already moved out and already had my own place, and he helped me move out. He never caught me in no bed with nobody. This was like after the marriage was totally over with.
Well, the marriage is not over yet because you haven't gotten a divorce.
Well, I mean, it's over. As far as the feelings, they're gone. As soon
Well,
as
feelings may be gone, but you still married.
Right.
Let me remind you.
Right.
Until that divorce is in.
Right. Well, I figure he should have to help me pay for the divorce.
Well,
and he
he's
won't even
doing
do
that, but the marriage is not over yet.
Right.
Okay, not on paper anyway.
Right.
I just wanted to remind you of that.
Your Honor, something needed to be done.
First of all, did I ask you to speak anything yet?
No, ma'am. I'm sorry. My apologies.
Now tell me your name.
My name is Steve Miller.
And you're the current boyfriend?
Yes, I am.
Are you the man that Mr. Davidson caught in bed with his wife?
No.
Why does he say he caught you in bed with his wife?
Oh, he's got stories plenty to tell you.
So he's just making this up?
Yeah.
How long you been friends?
Off and on for 8, 9 years. I mean, you know, they've lived in, she's lived
The
in
same
Columbia.
8 or 9 years she been with Mr. Davidson?
Correct.
So you've been over there in the background for 8 or 9 years? As her friend, of course.
Well, sure.
Yeah, right. Yeah,
Not
right.
romantic. Not even close to that.
So when did he see you in bed with his wife?
We were laying down on a couch, or
Was it a
couch?
bed? It was a couch.
It was a
we
bed,
were totally, totally dressed.
What it was the night
We
before?
just
Hold
kinda,
on, he's telling his story.
we were totally dressed. We're kind of against each other, kind of sacked
But we were,
out after
I was
a long
already
night.
moved
No,
out of the
stop,
house.
Mrs. Fuentes.
But
I'm going
yeah,
to give you a minute.
This is
When
2
I
weeks.
said.
This would be after she moved out.
So, Mr. Davidson, now I know you're an intelligent man.
Yes, ma'am.
He said they were on a couch.
No, they
fully
were not.
dressed. Hold on. Fully dressed, just laying against each other. How do you just get a bed from a couch? Do you know the difference?
Yes, ma'am, I do. And
So what did you see?
what I saw was them two lying in the bed together.
Fully dressed?
No, ma'am. They had a blanket on them. Just put it to you that way.
They just had a blanket over.
Yeah. And I stood
Wow,
there.
what a big distinction between what he saw and what you saw.
Ma'am,
Anything's going on.
I stood there in the
Park my
doorway.
car at your
I
house.
stood there in the doorway and cried for like 5 seconds, 5 or 10 seconds.
You
and-
stood there in the doorway and cried?
Yeah, and I didn't say nothing because it hurt me bad enough just seeing this. And you know, when I married this woman, I gave her my heart, I gave her my soul, I gave her everything I possibly could ever give this woman. You know,
Except stability, getting evicted all the time, electricity getting turned off because your band plays in my basement, so my kids got to
Excuse
suffer.
me, ma'am.
No, I don't think so.
I gave her my eternal love.
When divorce court returns, Tony drops a bombshell.
She asked me if she could sleep with this
While
guy.
she was still married to you?
Correct.
She asked you for permission
Yes, ma'am.
to sleep with another man.
If you would like to have the judge hear your case in divorce court, call us toll-free at 1-877-311-2222 or email us at www.divorcecourttv.com. Divorce Court is back in the case of Angel Fuentes versus Tony Davidson. Angel is seeking a divorce because she says Tony never grew up.
I moved out in '94.
Okay, somebody better hurry up and tell me something.
I moved out in '94. We got married in '93. I left him a year after we were married.
Okay, so you just are still legally married.
We're not
But
together.
the marriage has been over since '93.
Yes, yes.
Oh my goodness. And you haven't divorced after all these years?
No, I moved to Florida to get away from him and hoping he'd get his life together so I could bring
So you
his...
could come back to him?
No, so I could
No,
bring
you was hoping that he'd make it big, so that's why you decided to stay married to him.
No.
You can have a seat, Mr. Miller.
No, not at
And
all.
you mean to tell me that you left this man in 1 year? He
I
was
didn't-
doing nothing.
He was doing
He
absolutely
was
nothing.
not working.
No.
He hasn't contributed to you since you've left him.
Nope, nothing.
And he left your kids dirty
Yep.
and hungry.
That is not true.
Wait
That
a
is-
minute. I'm on a roll. Left your kids dirty and hungry. But you were still waiting for him.
I was waiting for him to grow up so he could be a father to his kid or to his child.
How long were you going to wait?
I was hoping within, the year or 2 years after we got married, things, he started to pick up a little
But
bit.
no, I'm past the marriage. You said you separated 1 year after the marriage. You've been
Right.
separated for 5 years, longer
Right.
than you were married.
Right.
How long were you going to wait for him to grow up? Until
Well,
he hit
that
it
was
big?
over. I was done after a year after we were married.
So why didn't you file for divorce?
I'm not paying for it. I'm not paying for the whole
Oh,
thing.
you were waiting for him to pay for it.
I'll go half with him. I mean, you know, it was both of our faults. He wouldn't grow up. I did not screw around on him.
So if he didn't pay for the
She
food,
did.
and if he didn't pay for your children, and if he didn't take care of them, what makes you think he's going to pay for the divorce? What does it matter to him?
He doesn't even pay for child support.
That's what I'm saying. So why didn't you file?
I couldn't afford it.
Oh, okay.
Was doing
So
everything
this
on my
marriage
own.
has been over a long time ago.
Right.
So tell me about the cheating and et cetera. All of that occurred within 1 year.
Yeah.
Very much so. Like I said, 2 weeks after we were married, she was not just messing with Steven over here. She had the audacity to ask me if she could sleep with this guy.
She asked you to sleep with a man.
She asked me if she could sleep with this
While
guy.
she was still married to you?
Correct. And I told her.
No, wait a minute. She asked you for permission.
Yes, ma'am.
To sleep with another man while
Correct.
she's married to you.
Yes, ma'am. And I told her.
What did you do? Did you come unglued?
Something like that. I told her no. And
That's all
and,
you did was told her no?
I told her no, but the thing is, she said,
Wait a minute, Mr. Davidson, you seem like a nice man. But you telling me you didn't go crazy and ballistic?
I wasn't. I was hurt more than anything that she would
Well,
have the
I
audacity.
applaud you for that. That you did.
It just had a lot of feeling on me that she had the audacity to ask me that, and it was like she knew how much I loved her and I cared about her, and I'd do anything in the world for her, no matter what it was, you know. And as I said,
Except get a job.
Every job I've had, she had got me fired from.
How did she get you fired?
She'd constantly call my work, griping and yelling that she don't have this, the kids don't have that, and then my boss would end up saying, I can't handle your wife calling here all the time, and then I'd end up getting fired. He'd say, well, I'd
Is that
have to
right,
let you go.
Ms. Fuentes?
No.
You didn't call his job?
He never had a job to call.
Never had a job.
Never had a job to call.
I was working a lot, and
He hasn't worked since I moved to Florida 2 years ago. I come back, he's still not working.
So
Still
then
not working.
If he's not working,
I've been
you never
previous
had
employed
anything.
for quite some time.
Why are you
ma'am.
before me? What can I give you? What can I do for you? Other than the
I want
divorce.
this ring off, this tattoo off my finger, because that is done with.
You
It's
want
over.
the tattoo off your finger?
Yes.
What tattoo?
This one right here.
Oh, I can't see that far. You have to come over here.
Okay. He has one too.
I have one too.
Hold on, I'm looking. You want a tattoo of a, what is that tattoo of?
It's barbed wire.
The tattoo is barbed
Yes,
wire?
it's embarrassing.
What does the tattoo represent?
This is what we got before he got married.
Eternal
He talked
love.
me into it. Yeah, eternal love.
So this is the tattoo is a representation of the love?
It was represented
Because
for
it was
everness.
free,
That
you couldn't
means
afford
that
it.
I've always grew up in the.
Is this your wedding ring?
No, ma'am.
Yes.
That was the
Okay,
second.
step back.
I gave her a second chance when she came back to me, and.
But tell me about the first chance. What is that representing?
Okay, the first chance was that we were together and that I tried very hard to.
Listen to my question. I know you tried very hard. You love your wife. It's real obvious. Because you still want to be married to her. You said for anything. Even though she's done the cheating and all. And I hope you get some counseling before you leave here. And I can tell that you're hurting. But tell me, what does the tattoo represent?
Entity, foreverness, that, just like I said, she was, we were together on this. We decided together as a husband and wife after, this stuff went wrong, and I wanted to keep the family together, and I was going to try anything I could.
So the tattoo was your symbol of love in exchange at the marriage instead of the traditional rings?
Correct,
where you
ma'am.
exchange as togetherness?
Yes,
and you
ma'am.
have a tattoo as well?
Yes, ma'am.
Let me see yours. So you're still wearing yours too?
Yes,
you want
ma'am.
yours off too?
Actually, yeah, I'd like to.
So is that what you all exchanged between each other at the marriage vow instead of
I
the traditional
rented-
wedding ring?
The ring that I supposedly pawned, I rented a ring so I wouldn't have to be embarrassed at the wedding, because he didn't buy me a ring.
So what's the ring you have on your finger now?
This is from
over
him.
the tattoo. So now you're wearing the ring from
Steven.
Mr. Miller, your good friend.
8 years, friend, if that.
Same years as your relationship, which I find rather interesting. So he's giving you a real ring. And now you want to end the divorce. I mean, now you want to end this marriage.
For a long time.
And you no longer want that symbol on your finger to remind you of Mr. Davidson's love.
No.
How much will it cost to remove that?
It's $1,200.
$1,200 to remove a tattoo?
I have an estimate.
A line across your finger, $1,200? I don't believe it. You have some proof?
Yeah, I have an estimate.
How much did it cost to have it put on?
It was free.
$1,200? Did Mr. Miller accept you and give you a ring with that tattoo on your finger? So he doesn't mind that it's there, does he?
No.
How bad? Does he want it removed bad enough to pay for it?
Yeah, I'm sure he would if I really asked him.
Have you
I'm
asked
sure he
him?
would. No.
Let me ask him. Come back up, Mr. Miller. How bad do you want that tattoo removed off her finger?
If it bothers her, it bothers me.
So you want it bothers her bad enough, and you want to please Miss Fuentes, don't you?
Yes, ma'am.
Does it bother you enough to pay $1,200 to have it removed?
If necessary.
If necessary?
If that's the only way it can come up off there and everything else falls through, yes, I'll take care of it.
Very noble of you. Have a seat. What about you, Mr. Fuentes? I mean, Mr. Davidson?
Well,
Why do you think you shouldn't pay to have it removed?
I shouldn't have to pay to get it removed because, like I said, it was just as much as her ideal as it was mine. I suggested it. She was willing to it because I gave her a second chance. And I had forgave her for cheating on me like quite a few times.
Do you want yours removed?
Yes, ma'am. I would love to have mine removed.
And how much will it cost you to have yours removed? I guess if you go to the same dermatologist, the same $1,200.
Yes, ma'am.
Or have you investigated the cost?
No, ma'am. Marriage is a one-time thing in my life, and
You're too young to take that position. Come
Yes,
back and
ma'am.
see me 5 more years from now.
When divorce court returns, the judge renders her verdict. And an update on the case of Patrick Reddick versus Rhonda Reddick.
He made a comment in the beginning of our marriage, if you ever get fat, I'm leaving you.
Divorce court will be back in session in a moment. Divorce court is back, and the verdict is in the case of Angel Fuentes versus Tony Davidson.
You know what? I don't think I need to waste my time going to chambers. This is easy. Real easy. He didn't force you down there to put that tattoo on. It was a symbol of your love. It's no different than when you exchange wedding rings together and make a wedding vow. And you give those rings, you exchange rings as a symbol of your love for each other to be together forever. The only difference is the ring can come off and you can throw it away, you can pawn it, you can sell it, you can do whatever you want to do with it. He didn't make you go. At that point, that's what you felt. Love is gone now, and so you don't want any reminder of it. If it bothers you that bad, pay for it. Get rid of it. My verdict is he does not have to pay the $1,200 or any other sum to remove it. If you want it removed, you pay for it. Judgment for the husband.
When divorce court returns, an update on the case of Patrick Reddick versus Rhonda Reddick.
He would not even hug me, he would not even kiss me or nothing because he was in uniform.
We are Marines 24 hours a day, 7 days a week.
Oh, come off of it, Mr. Reddick. Now, I've dated men in the military, and you're going to tell me that because you're in uniform, you can't hug and kiss your wife? We're not that archaic.
Closed captioning for divorce court provided by. If you would like to have the judge hear your case in divorce court, call us toll-free at 1-877-311-2222 or email us at www.divorcecourttv.com. And now for an update on a previous case in divorce court. Rhonda Reddick said she knew her marriage to Drill Sergeant Patrick was over when he refused to hug or kiss her in public.
He would not even hug me, he would not even kiss me or nothing because he was in uniform.
We are Marines 24 hours a day, 7 days a week.
Oh, come off of it, Mr. Reddick. Now, I've dated men in the military, and you're going to tell me that because you're in uniform, you can't hug and kiss your wife? We're not that archaic.
He made a comment in the beginning of our marriage, if you ever get fat, I'm leaving you.
I am me. and I can't be anybody but me.
Patrick was angry that instead of working on their marriage, Rhonda spent all her time chatting over the internet with her computer friends, and he brought her to court to try to get that computer back. The judge ruled that Rhonda could keep the computer. After they left court, Patrick was shipped out to sea, but before he left, he and Rhonda attended counseling together so they could work out a parenting plan for their children.
I think justice was served the way it should have been for emotionally stress and all the mental abuse I've went through in a lot of years, and I think it's been served well, and I'm really happy with what turned out here today.
We'll be happy, huh?
I'm a very strong believer in the Bible, you know, love is forever.